What's up, guys? The Twiz here, and today I want to talk about my criteria when rating movies. So, personally, I rank every movie out of 100 points, and I allot each category of the movie a certain amount of points. So, for instance, acting gets a certain allotment of points, script, narrative, direction, even special effects, and makeup and all that stuff. I take everything into account, and then I score it. I compile the points and I score it out of 100, and I kind of compare my overall score with that of a letter grade from school. So here I'm going to break down all of the categories that I rate based off of. So first we have my personal preference, which is how much I like a movie, how entertaining it was. One of the core things that everyone considers when they watch a movie. And that I give it the most amount of points, which is 60 out of 100, because I think that out of 100 points, 60 is pretty good for personal taste. Second thing I consider is script. So script I give 10 points to, because I think that the script is really important, and that takes into account things like character development too, which also gets its own categories as a separate thing, because sometimes character development also has to do with how well it's directed. I give story or narrative 10 points too, which is the overall tone, pacing, kind of takes into account script a little bit. Acting I give 5 points to. If something's just all around amazingly performed, I'll give it 5 points. I try to reserve that for a select few. The next category I consider is character depth, which takes into account acting and even script and direction too. I give character depth 5 points because I think it's pretty important, but also because it incorporates script and other categories. I don't want to allot it too many points. Character development also 5 points. You might think character depth and development are pretty similar, and yeah, they are, but there have been movies that I've given a 5 for character development, but for character depth I might give a 4 or even a 3 in rare cases. But usually they're pretty comparable. However, some things might swing one or the other this way or that way. But it all just depends on each movie. The next 5 categories, which are direction, art, effects, music or sound, and cinematography. Those 5 all get allotted 1 point automatically if it just meets standards and is pretty good and or average even. But if I will take away that 1 point if it's really bad, or I'll give it up to 3 points if it's exceptional. So sometimes I'll give a movie 2 for special effects if I think the special effects are pretty good, or I'll give something 3 for music or sound if the music's mixed really well and the sound effects are really crazy, or even the musical score is just phenomenal. I'll give that 3 points. So yeah, all that adds up to 100. Obviously you can see it can go up to 110 points technically, but if something hits 110 points, I just put it at 100. And those extra categories also give a movie a chance, say if it's below par in other areas but kind of tilts a certain way in how it looks or how it comes off or how well it's directed. It helps make up for the deficiencies in other categories too. So I just kind of give it a second chance in those 5 categories. Just wanted to intro you all on how I rate movies, because I think it's important, especially moving forward when I'm talking about movies I watch and I give it a score. So just remember that the number out of 100 corresponds with a letter grade. So a 77 would be like a C+, or a 95 would be an A. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Some websites, if I give a 76, it's technically 4 out of 5 stars, but in my head I consider it C. So people are like, oh, you gave it 4 out of 5 stars, it's not that good. But I'm like, according to my ratings though, it's a C, which is average. So just keep that in mind when watching the rest of my videos and when I talk about movies and how I rate them. So yeah, guys, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I encourage people to use the 100-point rating score for their own reviews and for their own ratings when they watch movies, but you can divvy up the points however you want, however you think it should be. But this is a way that's worked for me in the past, and I delineated a while over how I was gonna allot the points. It's not just a random thing. Like it took me a few months to really buckle down this point system. So I hope you guys enjoy my point system. I guess enjoy it. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah. See you in the next video.